We all know someone who just seems extremely confident all the time. No matter what happens, good or bad, they stay calm and self-assured. To most people, it can look like they were just born that way, like confidence is a natural trait they were gifted with. But the ancient Stoic philosophers didn't see confidence as an inborn quality. To them, true confidence came from a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the universe. The Stoics believed everything in life is connected as part of a greater destiny or fate. However, instead of feeling trapped by destiny, they found freedom in the idea that we can control how we think and act. True inner confidence transcends superficial appearances. It's a mindset forged in the furnace of self-mastery. The path to this enlightened state is arduous, but the rewards are immense. Fortitude in the face of adversity, clear purpose amidst chaos, and the unwavering respect of those around you. Stoics like Epictetus and Seneca faced incredible hardship in their lives, things like slavery, exile, and even execution. Yet they showed remarkable confidence by aligning their minds with nature's plan and focusing only on what they could control: their character, judgments, and virtuous actions. Their calm assurance didn't come from wishing away adversity, but from wisdom in understanding what circumstances they could change and a commitment to excellence in how they responded. By studying these 15 timeless Stoic insights that I'm about to shed light on about confidence, anyone too can develop that same profound inner peace and self-belief. 1. Cultivating unwavering self-faith. The bedrock of true confidence has nothing to do with skills, looks, or accomplishments. It stems from an unwavering self-faith, a core, unshakable belief in your fundamental worth as a human being, irrespective of external results or opinions. This sense of intrinsic value does not rely on things like money, power, or others' approval. It is a locus of self-assurance, anchored solely in your intentions to live with integrity according to your highest virtues and ethical code. Even if everything was taken away, relationships, possessions, status, your essential dignity would remain. Cultivate this self-faith through a committed practice of rigorous, honest self-evaluation. Judge yourself not based on successes or failures, but whether your actions, thoughts, and efforts authentically embody your truest values on a daily basis. Stop seeking worth through ego-driven pursuits and start living as a self-actualized being, prioritizing wisdom over vainglorious pursuits. 2. Confronting odds and obstacles head-on. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This powerful Stoic paradox from Marcus Aurelius fundamentally alters our relationship to obstacles and adversity. Rather than avoid or sheepishly accept them, we must actively confront and embrace them head-on. Too often, we sleepwalk through life, allowing difficulties to obstruct our aims and derail our focus. The confident person seeks out challenges, understands them as inevitable, and willingly grapples with them as a source of growth and advantage. Never shy away from fears, contradictory evidence, resistance, or critique again. Lean into every impediment with curiosity, using it as an opportunity to gain insight, build resilience, and continually update your approach. What was once an uphill battle becomes a form of leverage when you transform obstacles into stepping stones. 3. Respecting all while fearing none. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. A core tenet of Stoicism is conducting oneself at all times with dignity, truth, and ethical integrity, never compromising these values out of fear or deference to social pressures. This is not the same as disrespecting others or blindly disregarding customs. It means respecting yourself first as a virtue-upholding human, while simultaneously extending that respect to all people, opinions, and cultural traditions you encounter. You strive to understand and honor different perspectives. However, this open-minded stance does not mean living in fear of judgments, controversy, or external opposition. You cultivate a quiet self-assurance that appropriately considers social mores, but never subjugates your judgment or ethical obligations to mere conventions when they conflict with truth and virtue. 4. Identifying and improving your weaknesses. No person has the power to have everything they want. but it is in their power not to want what they don't have and to remain satisfied with what they have. Confidence originates from self-awareness and continuous self-improvement, never resting on false senses of bravado or stagnating out of ego. The unshakably self-assured person is unremittingly engaged in the process of identifying and meticulously addressing their flaws, weaknesses, and areas of ignorance. This is achieved through a diligent practice of rigorous self-study, soliciting frank external feedback, and holding oneself accountable to highest standards. With a grounded sense of humility, maintain an eternal beginner's mindset, always questioning, adjusting course, and working to refine your craft or elevate your character. Each day is viewed as an opportunity to elevate your game by systematically eliminating blind spots and contemporary shortcomings. Confidence and wisdom blossom symbiotically in this cycle. 5. Understanding the role of fate. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. While we are radical free agents with the ability to author our thoughts and ethical trajectory, we must also surrender to cosmic forces outside our control. This is the great paradox of cultivating Stoic confidence. A popular misconception is that the Stoics were solemnly fatalistic, resigning themselves as hapless victims to fortune's whims. However, their transcendent ideal was achieving a centeredness where one retains a locus of unperturbed command over their judgments and character, while humbly submitting to fate's inevitabilities. Let go of aspects of your life story you cannot truly determine, your genetics, your upbringing, certain environmental conditions. Then pour your liberated energy into rigorously perfecting the areas you can control, your ethical judgments, your intentionality, your reactions to misfortune. This balancing of internal locus with external surrender breeds supreme calm and resolution. 6. Confidence through admitting what you don't know. I am not one of those who do not know, but rather one of those who do not yet know. True confidence is not defined by pretending to have all the answers or masking insecurities through arrogance and bluster. It stems from humbly admitting the boundaries of your understanding while retaining intellectual curiosity. The ancient skeptics and Stoics understood that certainty regarding the true nature of the universe was impossible, and dogmatism was folly. True wisdom was radically redefining the highest good as developing excellence of character and tranquility by carefully examining one's judgments in the face of interminable ambiguity. By releasing attachment to appearing infallible, you free yourself from the prison of pride and egotism. Maintain a receptive stance, hungry for knowledge and openly admitting areas of ignorance. Investigate each new domain through the lens of reason and questioning, not presupposed conclusions. Confidence grows from accurate self-appraisal. 7. Focusing on your internal locus of control. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals, not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. The degree to which you grasp and operate from this pivotal distinction determines the extent of your confidence and personal power. Too many of us unconsciously erode our self-assurance by investing our energies and self-worth in aspects of existence we cannot possibly control: the judgments and behavior of others, external circumstances, shallow projections of status and vainglory. This path breeds perpetual anxiety and insecurity. Divert your intensity towards your internal locus of control, your judgments, intentionality, reasoned, virtuous choices, and reactions to fortune. These are the sole areas that must be relentlessly mastered through disciplined volition. Detach from dependency on externals, and you regain authorship over the fundamental ethics of your life story. 8. Understand that voluntary discomfort creates resilience. Life's greatest insights are born from struggle. The person who avoids all adversity, who cocoons themselves in a womb of comfort and safety, emerges intellectually and psychologically frail. Conversely, those who embrace voluntary discomfort, the cold shower, the punishing workout, facing their fears head-on, sculpt themselves into anti-fragile beings, utterly unshaken by the inevitable trials of existence. This philosophical truth formed the core of the ancient Stoic training regimen. By consistently leaning into manageable discomfort and stress in a controlled environment, you build your tolerance. What was once daunting becomes mundane. Your unshakable confidence grows in proportion to the challenges you've overcome. Actively seek out opportunities to voluntarily expose yourself to difficulty. Push your body's limits through strenuous exercise. Spend time fasting to conquer the boundaries of hunger. Speak publicly to crowds to vanquish social anxiety. With each trial surmounted, you chisel away another vulnerability, replacing it with granite resolution. 9. Transform pessimism into calm foresight. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. This immortal line from Marcus Aurelius encapsulates the transformational power of leveraging pessimistic foresight. Too often, optimism calcifies into unrealistic delusions that blind us to inevitable turbulence. This fragile outlook crumbles at the first sign of adversity, leaving its adherents demoralized. The sage is neither naive optimist nor crippled by dread. They fuse realism and mental preparedness to create calm foresight. Before entering any endeavor, diligently ponder all potential pitfalls and sources of misfortune. Vividly wargame worst-case scenarios in your mind's eye. Now, having metabolized the full spectrum of possible aversive outcomes, you neutralize their power through preemptive adaptation and stoic resolve. With wisdom gleaned from studying the eternal cycles of stratagem and catastrophe throughout history, the calm foresight mindset restores clarity. You view tribulations not as cosmic injustices, but inevitable concomitants of existence. This enlightened perspective uncouples external events from internal perturbation. No adversity can uproot your deep-rooted poise and steadfastness. 10. Self-sufficiency eliminates insecurity. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having small wants. Epictetus distilled true wealth and freedom into this elegant maxim. The more extraneous wants and social dependencies one accumulates, the more hostage they become to circumstances beyond their control. This is the breeding ground for perpetual insecurity, as their sense of self-worth becomes tethered to these externalities. Reclaim your sovereignty through cultivating a sacred space of adaptability, minimalism, and self-reliance. Steadily exorcise the societal demons of envy, extrinsic status-seeking, and mindless consumerism. With a disciplined regimen of ascesis, the deliberate reduction of needs and wants, your psyche becomes increasingly unmoored from the validation of the mob. Progressively strip away the auxiliary attachments burdening your existence until you arrive at an invulnerable core of independence and self-sufficiency. From this citadel of inner peace and sovereignty, true confidence is inevitable, no longer a hostage to fickle external conditions. 11. Reason, not emotion. It is not the thing itself that produces the person's disturbance, but the judgment about it. Encapsulating the Stoic stance on emotional self-mastery, Epictetus highlights the power of leveraging reason over emotion. Unshakable confidence flows from this ability to disenthrall your cognitive sovereignty from impulsive passions. For the person enslaved to capricious emotional whims, confidence is a fair-weather friend. Here one moment and dissipated by the next squall. Is your self-assuredness tied to a romantic prospect's affections, to the transitory praise of fickle men? Such externally derived egotistical attachments spawn perpetual turmoil beneath the superficial veneer of contentment. Become a bulwark of perfect judgment and reasoned choice through the tempering philosophy of prohairesis, the discipline of assent. Vigilantly scrutinize initial impressions through layered rationality before affording them cognitive legitimacy. Vigilance, stoic detachment, self-interrogation, these rational practices cultivate imperturbability. Confidence rises as emotions are rendered inert forces, no longer overriding your probity of thought. 12. Ethics and service catalyze self-respect. The only thing that isn't worthless, to live this life out truthfully and rightly. Marcus Aurelius considered dishonorable conduct the sole root of justified lack of self-respect. For those embodying the highest Stoic virtues of integrity, courage, justice, and humility, not even the derision of kings could usurp their intrinsic self-worth. Too many fruitlessly pursue culturally derived status symbols and vanity accomplishments as salves for insecurity. Yet such ill-conceived band-aids cannot remediate this existential lack of self-respect stemming from ethical decay. A purposeful life of service to honorable causes is the sole antidote. Dedicate your finite vitality not to accruing worldly trappings, but to cultivating an unimpeachable character aligned with transcendent ethical principles. Anchor your self-valorization in the knowledge you are living with utmost conviction. 13. Practice negative visualization to fortify gratitude. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This pearl of wisdom from Epictetus underscores the power of negative visualization to catalyze an unshakable attitude of reverence and gratitude for one's present circumstances. Too often, humans take their current blessings for granted: health, safety, relationships, mundane comforts. It is a psychological inevitability that we unconsciously adjust to our fortuitous privileges, becoming ingrates by gradual degrees. This toxic ingratitude serves as the wellspring for insatiable wants, envy, entitlement, and perpetual discontentment. The ancient Stoics wielded a powerful antidote, deliberately envisioning the loss of what you hold dear as a spiritual exercise. Vividly contemplate the permanent loss of your loved ones, your faculties, your modest securities. By staring directly into this abyss of deprivation, you restore an unshakable appreciation for your previously unexamined everyday graces. With a spirit of immense gratitude fortifying your core, no perceived privation can perturb your tranquility. No covetous thoughts linger when you have stared cosmic poverty in the eyes. From this vantage, you become impervious to pettiness and paralyzed by humility, steeled in unshakable contentment. 14. Understand that virtue includes hardship. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. No figure personified the radiant life of unwavering confidence through perpetual hardship, quite like Marcus Aurelius. As emperor, he stoically shouldered the gargantuan burden of holding together the Roman world in an era of pandemics, civil wars, and existential threats. Yet his perseverance was not a mere obstinate act of willpower. It flowed from a supreme commitment to living a life of virtue. His resolution was rooted in the belief that embodying the supreme virtues of justice, self-discipline, and courage at all costs was life's sole enduring concernment. Adversity then becomes not cause for demoralization, but an unwelcomed forge to metabolize tribulations and transmute them into wisdom. Court this mentality with the knowledge that all difficulties in life can be effortlessly subsumed if you steel yourself in virtue's armor. Wealth is lost, you've mastered detachment, maligned by the mob. The virtuous need no praises. Health deteriorates, your calmness cannot be shaken. With virtue comprising your unassailable core, every roadblock is metabolized by an unwavering ethical constitution, radiant, unruffled, impervious. 15. Accountability eviscerates insecurity. Very little is needed for everything to be upset and ruined, only a slight lapse in reason. With these words, Epictetus highlighted a core premise of Stoic philosophical confidence. Reason is the sole faculty over which we have full dominion, and accordingly it demands our utmost accountability. So much insecurity and lack of confidence stems from this unconscious forfeiture of our agency over reason and judgment. We habitually abdicate our rational faculties, becoming passive inheritors of cultural beliefs, social conditioning, and untrained impulses. The inevitable result is lives of lurching from impression to impression without coherence. The path to unshakable confidence begins with reclaiming radical ownership and accountability over your mind. Through constant self-interrogation, audit every belief, assumption, and ethical precept constituting your worldview. Discard the inefficient mental deadwood inhibiting your supreme reasoned choice over actions. With this newfound veracity for ruthlessly pruning irrationality and upholding your highest judgment, you safeguard against perpetual distress and existential insecurity. No externality can usurp your comportment, for you alone author the operating system of your psyche. Confidence becomes hardwired into your very being, an innate byproduct of living in alignment with your most reasoned values. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.